Now, here's a neat story from the 10th Amendment Center. Shem Kellogg is the author here, and I thought it was an excellent little summation of some of the things that have gone on here in New Hampshire. It's called New Hampshire, a Hotbed for Liberty. He writes, the United States was once a constitutional republic, and today New Hampshire is on the forefront in the battle to return the U.S. to its original principles of state sovereignty, limited federal government, and individual liberty. The year Thomas Jefferson was elected president, 11 out of 16 states didn't have a direct popular election for president, and no state had direct election of U.S. senators. The voters chose their state representative, a man who they personally knew, and he then voted for the upper-level offices. In New Hampshire, we still know our state representatives. We have 400. That works out to a relatively small 3,000 voters per representative. If you don't like a rep's vote, you call her up and tell her so. Our representatives serve on practically volunteer basis, being paid only $100 per year. And chances are they're happy to hear your perspective on a tough issue. In fact, most of them are open to the ideas of liberty if you're willing to explain them. This is a major reason that New Hampshire is one of the freest states in the U.S., with no income tax, no general sales tax, and very few gun restrictions.
That's huge.
A pro-liberty force unique to the state that helps to keep government accountable is the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance, a citizen watchdog group. NHLA is composed of volunteers who, like the Founding Fathers, committees of correspondence, get together in the poorly heated back rooms of bookstores, taverns, etc., and actually read the bills. This makes the proceedings of New Hampshire government uniquely transparent. The organization publishes summaries and ratings of bills in its Gold Standard newsletter, which is printed and distributed to all legislators. Volunteers compile the votes of all senators and representatives and publish them in the annual Liberty Rating, a report card to voters. NHLA has an active PAC donating to candidates of either party with the best pro-liberty voting records or the best survey responses for non-incumbents. Another great source of energy and activism comes from participants in the Free State Project, an international movement to concentrate 20,000 pro-liberty activists in one state. New Hampshire was selected as that state for quite a few reasons. The Free State Project runs 2 annual events to attract activists to New Hampshire, the Wintertime Liberty Forum and Summer Porcupine Freedom Festival, aka PorcFest. The Free State Project is the vehicle to get activists to New Hampshire. What participants do once they get here is up to them. New Hampshire is simultaneously the closest thing, to the old republic and the software startup model minimum state future. In 2007, Joel Winters, a Democrat from Manchester, the first Free State Project early mover elected to the State House, led a successful fight against Real ID. Also, in 2007, the state banned license plate readers, and to this day is the only state with a widespread ban on the use of such technology.
Yeah, this is really sort of important to, for those who care about the survey state. Pretty soon, the government's going to know wherever you go all the time. That information is going to be hackable because all information is going to be hackable. So your daily travels and your routes are going to be known.
A bill to make New Hampshire the 50th state to legalize those license plate readers was introduced this year, but in a reaffirmation of privacy rights, it was defeated, which means New Hampshire is the only state that doesn't have these things. In 2010, New Hampshire legislature that cut the state budget by a historic 11% passed a school choice bill that included homeschoolers and voted to decriminalize cannabis, though that effort was thwarted by the Senate. A medical bill was later passed and signed into law, and also in 2010, Free State Project participant Jen Coffey, a Republican from Andover, wiped all the state's sharp object laws off the books. And no, we have not been plagued with a surge in drive-by knifings, meaning that all knives are legal to possess if you're not a felon, I think, in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I think you can't have a dirk or an ice pick.
In 2012, a jury nullification law was passed in New Hampshire. He goes on to describe a little bit more about that, and he talks about how in 2012, Ron Paul came in second in both the Republican and Democrat first-in-the-nation primaries. There's something very exciting happening here in New Hampshire, and there's a little bit more to this piece. I'll link it on our Facebook, Google+.
But if you want to be involved in what's going on in New Hampshire, you need to go to freestateproject.org, sign up, to declare that you're going to move to New Hampshire.
Yeah, and get up here as soon as you can, because we could use the help ASAP. So once again, freestateproject.org. We'll see you online between now and tomorrow night when we're back with more Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.